knowledgeable. Trust Zia Abbas.
Buy low and sell high with Zia Abbas.
Hi viewers, you are watching Buy Low and Sell High and I'm Zia Abbas. This episode is in a continuation of the last episode, and as you've seen, Rosalie and Hadi is with me. They are joining me today as well to spend the whole day to show them a house today. In last episode I have shown them condo. They were quite adamant last time and they were quite happy out of what they have seen last week. So far, how's the day going?
You know what, the day has been amazing.
But let's see how the excitement would continue this time. Before they take a decision today, end of the day, and break down all the suspense, they also told me that their mother would join us today in a decision and she can help them to take a decision. Obviously, in our culture, elders has a lot of respect and value, and they do have experience more than their kids, right? So let's see what happens. So Adi, what we can do today before we can go and I can show you a house from inside, I want to just have a quick walkthrough in front of the house. As you can see, this particular house is a detached house and the frontage is quite wide. It's a 82 feet frontage, which is so rare to get. And the depth of this house is 125 feet. Once we go in the backyard, then you can see the depth is quite good in comparison to what builders are offering today, because today's depth is not more than 95 feet, it's 125 feet. But this particular house is right on a pie shape, so the front is quite big. It's a beautiful house. It's only 10 years old, built by a very well-known builder. And as you can see that we are only less than 200 meters away from a school. Though you guys don't have a kid yet, but trust me, school rating and school is the top priority when you buy real estate. So out of the emails, like, you know, when you picked this particular house, I was also quite excited and happy that you picked one of the best house. When we go inside the house, you can see a lot of good things which has been rectified and upgraded in the house. Let's go and see the house, how it looks like.
Thank you.
Now, since we are inside the house, this house, like, you know, I'm going to show you inside. It's a total of about approx 3,000 square feet.
Wow.
The beauty of this house is as we enter, it's a two doors entrance with a foyer. It's open to above, right?
Yeah.
So now from here, if you can go, we can see living room. Living and dining, they are combined, right? And it has a pantry directly into a kitchen.
Okay.
As you come here, then you can see we have a washroom here, right? And next to a washroom, we have a washer dryer. Another good feature about this house is the stair is right at the middle of the house. So say if you have guests sitting in the living room, they don't see your family member, like, you know, going upstairs, which is very important, like, you know, especially when it comes to a South Asian community, right?
Yeah.
And then at the rear of the house, if you can come and see, it has a grand look in a sense. If you can see this house right from the one side of the kitchen on the other side of the family room, you are talking about 40 feet in total, right? So kitchen is quite impressive, and then family room is quite big. It's larger than a normal family room. Another good feature about this house is it has a 9 feet ceiling. You can see a lot of crown molding and a lot of pot lights as well. And the roof is flat, which is another major upgrade, right? And if you can see over here a fireplace, it's a 3-sided fireplace.
Okay.
Which is another great feature for this house. The extension of the kitchen is also very important. If you can see over here, all the kitchen cabinets has been extended right towards your eat-in kitchen. So it's basically eat-in kitchen. So next to your dining, you have lots of counters. You have lots of, like, you know, drawer. And the combination of the kitchen is, as you see, it's a designer cabinets plus countertop is granite but it's a combination of a cream color versus your dark oak color, right? So appliances, have you seen, like, it's all stainless steel appliances. Stove is a gas stove, and South Asian foods are always cooked well on a gas stove. So that's another good feature. This is all about, like, this house, as I said, the lot depth, the actual size of the house. It is, like, 4 bedroom, and every room has a washroom with a finished basement, separate entrance, 2-car garage. The price of this house is, the asking price is about 1.2 million they are asking. So, but as I pull all the comparison and everything, so once we sit, we can decide, like, what to do if you really want to go on a house. But if it's a condo, then I have a different comparable for a condo. That condo price was, like, $800,000.
Okay.
So the one I've shown you. So now you have to decide among yourself, like, which way you guys gonna go. Right from here, let's go and sit outside in the patio and discuss, as you mentioned that your mom is going to join us once, and then we can sit and discuss pros and cons among both of them. Let's go and sit in the patio.
Let's go.
Buy low and sell high with Zia Abbas.
Welcome back, viewers. The showing of the house has been done, and let's see how is their opinion after showing. Hadi, Rosalie, and Huma, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
How was the showing, by the way?
It was really great. It was amazing. We got to see a lot, and the picture we saw, it really lived up to it very much.
Is the real house look better than the pictures which I sent you an email?
Way better.
Way better, right?
Sure, yeah. But it's now gonna, it's like really hard for us because now we have hard time picking.
Picking, okay. Did I confuse both of you, like, by showing wonderful condominium as well as a house?
Yeah, you know what, you really did. We have to think about our needs.
Okay.
So this time what we need, we really brought in my mom. And,
okay, perfect. Mom is here. Both of you have seen everything. Now it's the time, like, to decide, like, which way to go. And I know initially you mentioned to me that it is very important for you that your mother has to be a part of a decision making, that which direction you may go. So what you do at this point in time?
Well, that's why we brought her in, right?
Okay.
Because we really want to hear her opinion as well. So taking this opinion is very hard. So what should we do, Mom?
I think for first it's your priority and schooling and all around. And I think if you start, so it's better to start with the condo, but it is your opinion because of the all facilities around. Both house and condo is better to live here in Canada.
You know what? I just want to give you guys a heads up, pros and cons. The difference between house and between condos. And you know what? Viewers are watching us, and sometimes they get confused, right? They say, should we live in condominium or should we live in house? Usually the trend is, like, the young couples, they would love to live in condominium living because of the modern living, right? Facility, like, they both wife and husband, they are working, they don't want to into a grass cutting, into snow shoveling, like, and plus they don't need too much of a big space, like, big space means liability, right?
Exactly.
And then, or else, like, when you get retired, you want to be in a condominium living. But end of the day, decision is yours. As we had a lot of telephonic conversation, we had a communication through an email, like, based on that, what I gathered is I have shown you, like, among these two properties. So you have to decide, like, which way you have to proceed. Decision is still, like, not taken, and I know it's a hard decision, right? It's not easy to decide, like, which product to pick, either condominium or a house. But meanwhile, while you guys take your time and decide which product you have to pick, I have to take a quick break. And Salman from Mortgage Alliance on its way, he's the one who's going to further guide you towards mortgage approval once it comes to foreign buyer.
Okay.
Viewers, will go for a quick break. Stay with us.
Buy low and sell high with Zia Abbas.
Hi, I'm Zia Abbas and proudly introduce Pier 27 Phase 3 at the foot of Yonge Street with an amazing water view. This 35-story building has just over 400 units. If you really want to see a great views from your balcony, this is the project you have to follow. Call me with the confidence to secure your allocation to buy low and sell high.
Remember, mortgage financing is just like a puzzle. The difference is you won't get a second chance to solve it. Choose the right broker. Call me for initial consultation.
You work hard, you dream, you wish to protect your family now and in the future. You wish to retire comfortably. You are a highly paid professional and would like to reduce taxes and grow wealth.
Call Zahid Sayed, the Chartered Life and Registered Health Underwriter at 905-624-0008.
Buy low and sell high with Zia Abbas.
Welcome back, viewers. As you've seen, the whole family is sitting here. Salman Arif from Mortgage Alliance and Mrs. Salman is also here to help Hadi and Rosalie about their mortgage qualification. How easy is to get a mortgage for foreigners? Is it possible? I believe the right answer Salman would have, but as Hadi said earlier to me that he has some concerns and questions which he is going to ask directly from Salman. So go ahead, Hadi.
Thank you. We have some concerns and we would like to know how the guidelines are regarding getting this mortgage as a foreign buyers for this property. We would definitely like a property and we would like to know how it works.
Yeah. So if you like to buy a property in Canada, there are guidelines. First of all, not all the banks are doing. There are a few banks they are doing it. So if you want to buy a property in Canada as a second home means if you want to buy as a vacation property whenever you want to come and you want to live there, you can live there. You have to put 35% down from your own resources, and this 35% down has to be in Canadian bank account for at least 30 days prior to closing date. So for example, you put the offer, the closing date is after 45 days. So you have to have this 35% down payment in the Canadian bank account at least 30 days before the closing date. Now, as a foreigner, some people think that they cannot open an account in Canada, right? There are a few institutions, they are offering, even if you don't have any status as a landed immigrant, you still can open the account and operate it as a foreigner. For income guidelines, Canada will consider, all the banks will consider the income you are making on your back home, wherever you're from, right? And you just have to prove that you're making that certain amount of income, because any bank will lend you money, they will more likely think about that how you're gonna pay it back. So they want to make sure that you're earning sufficient enough to cover the cost, and the interest rate will be as ideal as everybody is getting these days.
So what kind of interest rate in today's date they would be able to get?
He will be getting around 2.69 for 5-year fix if he wants to.
Okay.
And if let's say interest rate will drop down, so he will get around 2.59 to 2.54, something like that.
So Salman, say today, like, after seeing this house, they have to come up with a decision. Right. Either they have to buy a condominium or they have to buy a house. Right. And like, wherever they put an offer, it would be conditional 5 business days upon approval on finance, right? As you said, and you mentioned very clearly that they have to and they must open a Canadian bank account, which takes about less than 24 hours to do that.
You can do it online.
Yes. So you think if they would be able to put an offer today conditional upon mortgage approval, you can able to work on this file in the next 5 days and get them an approval?
Obviously, we can do that. There are options that we can do. And if, let's say, he doesn't have an account within that certain amount of time, we have the alternate sources to cover that deposit, because he has to put the deposit towards this real estate brokerage. to book that property under his name and wait for 5 days to cover the condition for financing and inspection. But in the meanwhile, he can do the process and he can open the account in any bank, right?
So Salman, instead of opening a bank account and put all the funds there for 30 days, would these foreign investors do have an option to send their funds direct as a wiring to their solicitor trust account?
No. Technically, they have to open the account and the money has to be there prior to closing date, 30 days prior to closing date. It's a guideline.
And 35% deposit is quite easy if they can, if they can prove the source, and 35% deposit,
right,
they can get mortgage here in
And
Canada.
ideally, what bank wants is an additional to 35%, that you have 1 year payment in your bank account in advance. They want to see that.
Okay, they also, say example, if the mortgage payment is $2,000, then they would be able to have $24,000 in their account prior to 35% deposit and a closing cost, right? No, that's great. So Rosalie, tell me one thing. What if Salman says no mortgage? Would you still proceed and buy the property here in Canada?
Well, to be honest, it's going to be a bit hard for us because it's a big amount, and we've heard from you that he can make our dream come true. It's one of our dreams, so we rely on you and Zia as well. So
well, it's Zia's recommendation, so I have to do.
Well, you know what, to be quite honest, between me and you, when the job gets stuck and Salman is giving me a hard time, then I'll go straight to Bobby. I said, can you put some recommendations to Salman and get the job done?
You're fully right.
So that's all it works. But great credibility Salman has, definitely, he has a very in-depth knowledge when it comes to mortgages, and definitely you guys would be in a safe hands. Salman, thank you very much. Bobby, thank you very much for coming all the way here to accommodate Hadi and Rosalie. Viewers, as you've seen this whole discussion, we'll go for a quick break. Stay with us.
Buy low and sell high with Zia Abbas.
Thank you. Refinance. It's not always about paying your existing debt or plan a vacation. There is so much you can do with the equity, which is sitting and doing nothing in your house. Call me to discuss your options.
For over 20 years, Baker Real Estate has been proud to represent the most successful new construction condominium developers in Toronto. When you buy through Baker, you know you've bought the best.
ABN is a full-service boutique accounting firm. ABN can provide you with a range of financial and advisory services that can help create, build, and protect value. See beyond the numbers. CPAs can do so much more.
Abrahams LLP. We provide services in corporate law, civil litigation, and real estate.
We are lawyers to Toronto's entrepreneur.
Buy low and sell high with Zia Abbas.
Welcome back, viewers. Right now we are sitting, Wasim Mohammed from Abrahams LLP is with us, as well as Hadi's mother, Hadi and Rosalie. Hadi had a question about the closing of the property. So Hadi, since Wasim is here, what sort of question you would like to ask him?
You know what? Thank you, Wasim bhai. I would just like to know how the procedures goes for buying a property here in Toronto.
Okay, as a foreign investor, it's very simple. The property which you buy, either a condominium or a house, it's as good as you're a resident of Canada, and all the taxes such as land transfer tax, everything is the same. You are paying the same thing as a Canadian resident, and all the adjustments, all that, everything will be the same. And the only time which you pay only the capital gains of the property taxes, and then that is when you sell the property. That is also very simple. And then for you being an investor, which is in Canada, then you will be able to appoint somebody as a power of attorney if you are not, if you can't come down to Canada to sign the paperwork. Okay. You can appoint somebody as your relative or an agent. Then that papers can be signed on your behalf. Okay. As long as you're not getting any mortgage. If you're getting a mortgage also, still you can do it, but the bank has to approve a power of attorney.
Which is very rare to approve, right?
If you are putting down 35-40% down, yes, that's possibility. Yes, you know, depending, you know, what relations do you have with the bank.
Okay. Land transfer tax, you said it's very like, you know, it's the same for local Canadians as well as for foreign buyers. Is that
That's
true?
right. Yes, it is.
So what about the capital gain? You mentioned, like, you know, so at the time of buying for them, there is no tax. When they sell, that's when, like, you know, they ended up paying taxes, right?
That's right.
I heard they have to have some sort of a clearance certificate.
Yes. Okay. Let's say, for example, if you're buying a property for $300,000,
yeah,
and then you keep the property for about, let's say, 2 years,
yeah,
and then you're making $100,000 profit.
Okay.
So because you're an investor, and then you're only paying about 25% of the capital gains.
Okay.
So then what we do is, you know, as a solicitor, you know, we keep 25% in our trust account, and that will be disbursed, you know, to you as soon as, you know, a Section 116 clearance certificate is issued by Canada Revenue Agency, which is called CRA.
So Wasim, tell me one thing: is it rare for you guys to handle foreign investors, or you do all the time?
There is no problem, you know, as you know, you have got so many, you know, foreign clients, you know, which we look after, and then there is very simple process. There is nothing to worry. You know, a lot of investors, they think that, you know, it's very tough to buy a property in Canada, but it's very simple.
Wasim, thank you very much for accommodating in such a short period of time. They had only 2 days, but I believe, like, you know, they have all their concerns, like, you know, resolved by your presence. Hadi, you know, this is the time right now to make a decision, either here or there, condominium or house. Viewers, if you've seen, stay with us and watch. We'll give them a cooling off period. Let them decide among 3 of us. We'll come back to you.
Buy low and sell high with Zia Abbas.
Okay guys, now we've both watched the house and the condo. What do you think?
I personally think, after hearing from Zia and from Mummy and seeing both parts, that for the long term it's better to buy a house for we can make secure for our kids in the future. And I trust Zia, so he's in it.
Yes, I think you should go for a house.
Okay, you know what? I think definitely we should go for the house because that will secure our future and our kids. But down the road, in 6 months, I think we should buy a condo and rent it out as an investment. Definitely think that.
Viewers, as they decide, like, you know, which one they're gonna pick, but let me tell you, based on my experience and gut feelings of what they're gonna do, I think they're gonna go for a house. And the reason why I'm gonna say they're gonna go for a house, I closely watched them while showing condominiums as well as houses, and they were leaning towards house more than condominium. Another thing is, like, you know, their needs, like, you know, push them to go for a house, because end of the day their parents might move with them in that house, and that might be a reason then they can go for a house. How, like, you know, close I am based on their decision, let's go and find it out. Let's see if they already made their decision. Okay, hi guys, how are you?
Hello.
Are you guys done?
Yes, done.
Can I come and join you guys? Perfect, perfect. Let's see what sort of decision has been taken, right? Perfect. So, what's the surprise?
Well, we had a long talk and we wanted to see what we did and which was better for us.
Yeah.
We decided that house is what we are going for. That's what we are going to make an offer for, because that's what secure our future. But down the road, we're definitely going around 6 months' time to buy a condo for investments.
Perfect. You know, first of all, congratulations, like, you know,
Thank you.
for reaching up to an extent to take that decision. What I did when I emailed and talked to you, at that moment I prepared 2 offers for you and the comparisons as well.
Okay.
One for a house and one for a condominiums. Now, since condominiums out of the way, let's concentrate on the house.
Yeah.
Here is some sold comparable of the houses. Across the road, there's a house sold for $1,056,000,
Okay.
which is not as good as this one. It's at least 250 square feet smaller, and the upgrades are less than what you have seen here, and the size of the kitchen is quite small. Based on the sold comparable on this street, I think we should start this offer from almost 11 point, means 1,150,000. So they're asking 1,200,000. Let's see if we can get a break of 50,000 based on the price. these are the offers, right? So what I'm going to do, if you can start signing an offer, like, all the clauses are here. So what I did, like, I put a price of 1,150,000, and the closing I put 90 days, and all the clauses are here. If you start signing right from here, just sign here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. And full signature right here. And you sign too. Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to represent this offer to other party, and I'll get back to you by tomorrow. Hopefully, like, they may accept it. But again, congratulations and thank you very much for your time. Like, you flew all the way from Europe to US and then to Canada.
No, thank you so much. You know what? We came all the way from Europe only because of your name. We heard so much about you. And definitely, one man to work with is Zia Abbas. We are securing our future here with you. Definitely, thank you so much for having us.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
you.
Zia.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Buy low and sell high with Zia Abbas.
Viewers, it's the time to wrap the program. But the important thing is, Hadi and Rosalie did get their house for $1,150,000. But they not only got the house, they got the house with full satisfaction. And my services were there for them right from the day first up to the end till they get the house. And that's the services I offer to all my foreign investors, foreign buyers, as well as local buyer. If my clients are not happy, so I shouldn't be in this business anymore. My clients are my clients, and they are the most important person in my life. And I have only one aim, which is the name of the program: buy low and sell high. Thank you very much for watching me, and I'll be in touch with you guys next week. Take care.
Buy low and sell